All right, honestly, I was not gonna record this video today. I've been super tired with work and with other side projects, but God really told me to put out this video today. I even had the video scripted, but I'm not gonna follow the script just because I don't know. I'm gonna just let God flow on this one. Whatever He wants to say and speak, I'm gonna just run with it. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. So, if you're new to this channel, my name is Steven, and I created this channel for the sole purpose of helping you grow deeper in your faith with God. So, this video is titled Stop Planning and Start Praying. Because to be honest, it does seem counterintuitive when you're trying to get ahead in life that you have to plan a lot of things out. You need to plan out the person you're going to marry, the type of job you're going to have, what type of business, just regular human stuff. We want to advance in life. We want to make sure that we're good, that we're not stressed out, that we have our bills covered, that the people we love are safe, that we're safe, that we're healthy. And it's normal things, but what I've learned with my walk with God is that it doesn't mean we have to stop planning completely. It just means that we just need to stop having this false sense of control of wanting to have all the boxes in our lives checked. Because what I've noticed is that when I started praying to God and just releasing all of my desires to Him and giving that to Him, all of these burdens, all of these things that I want to achieve in life in order to feel that I'm secure, right? But the thing is that a lot of these things can be stripped away from us, right? Whether it's money, a relationship, a car, whatever it may be, all of these things can wither away. What I've noticed is that when I just allow God to take control and have Him give me these things at the time that He thinks is best, then I'm just better off. I'm living life more in the present moment. I'm not so stressed out. I'm not so anxious. I'm not getting my worth and my value from things that, can easily be taken away from me, or things that really do not hold weight. Because what I've noticed, and especially just seeing like other people in my life, like we've all had that one person, hopefully, or not hopefully, but I feel like a lot of us have had a person that have been close to us and they just passed away. When they're on their deathbed, they're not really thinking of how they wish they could have made more money, or they could have got more likes on Instagram, or they could have whatever. Like all of these desires, all these dreams, yes, they're important to some sense. And there seems to be something common that when people are on the brink of death, they're not really thinking about what they could have achieved or gained, or some type of title that they could have accomplished. Most of the time, people are thinking of how they could have gave more of themselves to other people, how they could have loved better, how they could have been better, servers and providers for the people that they care about. And a lot of these things is just, it's very rooted in spiritual stuff, right? And so bringing it all back to when you start praying instead of planning out your whole life, you just start radiating the fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, goodness, faithfulness, and all of these good things. You don't have to force it, right? You don't have to really like strive for these things anymore, because they just come naturally. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that I was caught up before in my past life where I was so attached to money and to wanting to become a millionaire, because I thought that would lead me to getting, women and cars and all these good stuff and everything that the world wants to sell us through the media, especially men, right? And that's not to downplay women. I'm sure women have their own struggles, but I feel like for men, at least, we're being sold this thing where we have to have these things in order to feel like, we're above average, as if God even has those type of levels. That's how He's looking at each individual person. And so when I started focusing on just letting God take care of me in general and the person He wants me to become, I've noticed that a lot of these things just started happening naturally. I started meeting people naturally. He started opening doors for me that I didn't have to budge or force my way through it, right? Because I stopped planning, in the sense that I'm no longer caught up with what am I gonna do in the next 6 months or in the next year. And I'm not so stressed out, and I'm not in my head overthinking and overanalyzing. Now I can just be in His presence and allow Him to work through me and become, right? If I'm so busy looking at the future and who I can be and what I have to do, I can't be in the present and really tap into God, who he is now and who he will be everlasting. And it's really bizarre the way he works, because a lot of these things, they seem very bizarre once they happen, and it really does seem like it's supernatural, right? It's supernatural once you start feeling these things come into your life and you stay rooted in God and you stay rooted in your word and in faith and in prayer, and you stop being so consumed by these worldly things. You're going to start to realize that God is going to give you everything you ask for and then some. But the crazy part is, when he gives it to you, the excitement is not going to be there how you thought it would be, because the excitement is already there. The excitement, the joy that you thought these things were going to give you, it's already coming from God. So once he gives you, he blesses your finances, he blesses you with a relationship, with a marriage, whatever are those pure desires that you have in your heart, and he gives it to you. Yes, you're going to be grateful that he's giving it to you and you're going to delight in it, but you're not going to be so flustered by it, because now you're not so attached to it how you were once. And I feel like that's honestly the best part of it, the fact that it's coming from God and not from your own efforts. Because if it comes from your own effort, I'm sorry to say, but that can lead you down a very dangerous path if you're not careful. And what I mean by that is that if you attain these things by your own means and you're striving and you're really trying to manipulate your way into how the world wants you to think of success, then that can lead you down, pride and just using people and just being so caught up on winning and winning at all costs, by all means, disregarding people's emotions, disregarding your own emotions, right? Because if you're just so caught up on how can I make more money this year, how can I make sure that I'm hitting all these goals, and you're not tending to the emotional and spiritual side of your own well-being, then I'm sorry, but you're going to end up losing yourself. And that's really what's at the core of this message, is that we need to stop planning and putting all this weight and burden on our shoulders, but rather going to God and letting him dictate the outcome of our lives, because he is our creator at the end of the day. He is the one that knows what's going to be best for us. And sometimes that may mean sacrificing or forfeiting something that you thought you always wanted. But the beauty of it all is that, yes, you may have wanted it before, but as you start moving closer to him, all of these desires are just going to start dropping off, and he's going to give you new ones. Before, I thought I wanted to be this millionaire that had a digital marketing agency making all this money, $30,000 a month. All of this thing that it's absurd. It was really absurd of me thinking that, yeah, that's the goal. I want to make $50,000 a month. I want to keep leveling up. I want to fly on these private jets. And it's like, wow. I honestly can't believe how lost I was back then. But yeah, like once we start just realizing that God always has something better for us lying ahead, when he takes us to that place where we're just relying solely on him, and we know that only he can fulfill us and give us the joy that we have been longing for, we don't have to be scared of anything. We just take life as it is. And that doesn't mean that you don't have ambitions or aspirations or anything like that. It just means that you're not so consumed by it. Those things no longer own you. God owns you. And that's the truth we need to rely on and fall back on every day, and every time we feel like we have to keep going and keep getting more and more. And that's truly not what life is about, because once we really start living life with God and being in his presence and taking life day by day and enjoying the presence of our loved ones around us, this is when he's going to ground us in our word and in the truth of his scripture, and we can truly live and not be so caught up with all these things that who knows if we will ever attain them. And if we do attain them, how do you even know it's going to give you that feeling that you've been chasing for such a long time? Like, you can have the joy that God has to offer right now. And so I truly hope that word serves as encouragement to know that God holds the blueprint to your life. And once you start leaning into that and just resting and being still, knowing that he has you and you can have him. You don't have to be consumed. You can be set free from all of these things that the world wants to sell you. And that's truly when you're going to find true freedom in Christ, true freedom, that knowing that even if this world passes away, even if you lose everything, you're still going to have that one thing that can never be taken away, which is the sacrifice of Christ on the cross. So other than that, I hope this video served as a blessing. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Peace.